Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Fallout New Vegas. So, yeah, pretty much I think we're gonna finish this whole DLC today. Unless they just give us a lot of extra quests. Like, we've gone out of our way to look in a lot of extra places. And maybe there's like a corner here I didn't actually look in. And I know that probably the end of the game starts here and just keeps going down this way. And we have like two options, which is either to attack and wipe out the white legs, which is the video game default option we just kind of have to take, uh, or we can side with Daniel and then flee kind of like cowards. And the game is running very frame ratey, I think, again because of this rain aspect. Like, pretty obviously they should have
I feel for our people and for our valley if something is not done.
Yeah, pretty much they should have gotten rid of the rain. It would have been an easy thing to leave on the cutting room floor. I have liked the different experience this DLC has offered, but I don't know if it really has done enough to make it feel amazing like Big Mountain Old World Blues, which had just a lot more content going on for it. In fact, there's kind of a direct contrast for the semi-hilly areas of Zion versus Big Mountain, which has very hilly areas, a lot of verticality, and a lot of buildings that you go into, even if the buildings are somewhat small, whereas this doesn't have any buildings really. One-room buildings at most. I doubt we're going to reveal anything new in this map. And so let's just talk to Daniel and see how this is all going to go. We can give him some more healing powder.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you?
Let's see.
Ah, that's great news. We can use anything you can offer. Your generosity is... well, I just can't thank you enough.
I suppose we should also mention that I've turned up the difficulty to the highest level. And I believe the character sleeping to the left of the screen once again is glitched, as far as they don't have, I think, the right outfit on. I think they're technically in underwear. So we're going to finish this quest and say we checked out everything in the valley and got the map of the grand staircase.
I appreciate it. Well, that's it. This is all we need. Now all that's left is to quietly pack up and try to get out of here without being noticed. That's assuming that Joshua won't try to stop me. And that he hasn't talked you into fighting the Whitelegs despite what I've said. Don't worry, I don't hold it against you. You're an outsider. Fighting seems like the practical solution. I'll tell you again. There's more at stake.
Let's see. So, we have a no going back. Whether you decide the Sarge should fight or flee, your decision will set their destiny irrevocably in motion. You'll be unable to finish any remaining quests in Zion once you make your decision, so choose wisely. See, I just don't see a reason why they should leave. Also, I kind of don't understand why they got the elderly and children out and didn't leave at that point. Let's see. The thing here is there's just not any place better. You move somewhere new and it's just going to be the same issue, but you're going to be less familiar with the area and the territory. You're better off defending your land. Yeah. If it was only a case that this one area was dangerous and the rest of the post-apocalypse world was much safer, then it would be a different situation. Or if there was an area that was just completely empty of both abomination monsters and other raiders, that would be different, but it's not the case. I have 450 XP there. Alright. And I'm just gonna say we should fight the White Legs. Inherently, part of the reason why I think I should side this way is because I don't even feel like the tribe he's with are particularly behind the same thinking as Daniel has. Like they're kind of letting him lead, but I don't think if left to their own devices they would flee.
No. Why? Why? Haven't you seen enough of what's going on here to see that the Sorrows don't need to butcher the Whitelegs for a piece of land? What Joshua wants is more than an attack. He wants a slaughter. And he needs more than you and the dead horses to do it. The Sorrows can't be pushed into this. You and Joshua don't have the right to force them into it. Please, consider what I'm saying.
See, and it doesn't seem like I can change my decision here. This is the way the world is. They're part of it, whether you like it or not. Maybe this story is trying to make an argument here of Daniel having his head in the clouds, being a religious person. But yeah, religious people often lead to martyrdom. I wish I could turn on the flashlight while in this. Let's see.
I've already explained to them that we're leaving. They've accepted it. What is Joshua going to tell them about being a warrior? What are you going to tell them about how to live with themselves after they got lost in the moment, killed someone who didn't deserve to die? Or does that not matter? Is that just an acceptable consequence if it means holding on to this valley? Maybe there is no place left in this world for mercy. But even if it tramples me into the dust, I will never accept it. And I will never condone it. Joshua must be waiting for you. I'll stay here with the others as I told them I would.
So, Walking Cloud has returned to the Sarah's camp and given me all of her items. And we fade out. And we load. And now we're just in a totally place.
I know Daniel doesn't approve, but destroying the Whitelegs is the only way to ensure the Sorrows can remain in Zion. You and I will lead a group of Dead Horse warriors and Sorrows hunters into 3 Marys from this position. Our objective is to find the Whitelegs leader, salt upon wounds, and prevent him from fleeing. Show no quarter to the Whitelegs we come across. Make no mistake about why we are here. This is an extermination.
So yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like very much of a role-playing experience here. You make one decision or you make the other. That's pretty much it. I would be interested in seeing what happens, so I'll probably try and load a save and see what happens otherwise, but yeah. In the main game you would think you would expect more options and
God
just
be with you.
not a generic one or the other option. And this definitely feels like a linear experience. So Joshua Graham, who I guess is actually Joshua Graham, the Burn Man, has given me the Way of the Canaanite perk. With Joshua Graham in your party, any 45 caliber auto pistol you have has less spread and is twice as likely to score critical hits, which seems like a fairly specific perk, and it seems like something you're only going to get for this one scenario and nothing else. And yeah, I still have my guns, so it's not really a case where we're doing anything else. Here we have a 3 Marys Cavern has just been unlocked, and here we go. There's definitely something to be said about having a rigid doggedness where every single every single companion must give some kind of perk. You might as well just target heads even with a low percentage chance. Because doubling your chance of hitting, it's not going to do anything. And I've got like a sniper rifle, so it's kind of crazy that those guys are doing damage to me and being able to throw axes at me and actually hurt me. We started in kind of a weird spot where they definitely expected me to just run into a lot more fighters as I go down this river. And so you'd have to think that this river would have been specifically designed so that you would never and see, do I even want to become over encumbered at this point? I've got a decent amount of stuff, but I could easily start running out of stuff. I could easily start running out of bullets. My armor is strong enough for this not to matter. Yep. And I definitely feel like it would have made sense for the river to have dried up at this point. And that would have been a more dynamic change, frankly, than having it rain. But yeah, without even that, you could have just easily had it so that each of this water sections was very low and there was just never a point where it would get deep enough that you would actually swim. You can see fish appearing here and there. They play no role in the game, which I kind of feel like they should have. And it seems like if we just stay to the river, we'll be fine. Perhaps we'll run into a few more white legs, perhaps not. A lot of the quests in this DLC were abruptly ended without me really realizing that I was going to end them. Like, what in the world is with these guys' ability to target? I don't know if this is a case of I'm playing on very hard, thus the game is making the enemies target me and hit me a lot more. Or if something else is going on here.
Prepare to meet your maker.
It definitely seems broken, though, as far as the system, to have enemies be able to hit me so much. And this is just leaving the burned man to kill everybody. And I am going the wrong direction. definitely doesn't feel like this could have been a whole stealth sequence. Let's make sure I'm going the right way now. This whole sequence started with your group being sniped and shot down by the white legs. So inherently this is just a going full circle. And yeah, me attacking the white legs could inherently just be revenge if you want to interpret it that way. Unfortunately, it really is just a case of one of these endings sounded way too peaceful and thus wouldn't get me XP or items or anything else. This gun is proving to be very useless. It kind of just doesn't matter what the damage per second is. And see, weirdly, I had to hit B to come out of that sequence. My stats are at 100. I should be doing a lot better here. Let's see. Let's change some things up here. Do we have a 45 meter thing? If we equip this, do we have enough bullets? Alright. Well, let's bring some crazy firepower to a world that knows no knowledge of technology at all. Almost went the wrong direction yet again. And even in very hard, there's just kind of nothing that can happen here. Like, nothing could really kill me as long as I have enough auto stim packs and auto super stim packs. I would say the game overall probably shouldn't have auto super stim packs or super stim packs in general. My armor is going to be high. This is a case where even if something was shooting at me from above, the angle is so sharp that they wouldn't really be able to hit me. So I half wonder if, like, he's not shooting either, so not sure who is shooting what. Our guys are shooting. We had already come and cleaned out this area and stripped all of the items. And this is as far as we went. It's just to this rock. And see, I don't think this really is a case where anything I like do would change the outcome in any way. I don't think that I'm supposed to be protecting the warriors with me. And see, there certainly is some level of team building that's probably going to happen here, in that... Let's see. Can't come up here? From the looks of it, I can't. But yeah, the two tribes are...
This is taking too long. We can't let salt upon wounds escape. I'm going to find a way around. God willing, we will finish this together.
So that got blown up and is blocking our way. And see, I almost wonder if this is some kind of trap where Joshua Graham is going to secretly have been Salt Upon Wounds this whole time. We did, in the DLC section, in a different mission in this DLC section, blow up a cave. And so they've replicated that idea. Cave will be a great place to fire an electric laser gun. It definitely seems like it's the only way through. It would be very funny if this turned into the point where we have a conversation choice. It takes more action points to fire this electric gun. And with misfortune and the mysterious stranger, all these kill sequences get crazier. Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like it makes sense to go into vats. These enemies have some kind of poison. So right now I believe I have been poisoned by dark datura poison, I guess is what it is. So then we would have to use some kind of cure poison there to adjust for that. Also, I'm not seeing any cave mushrooms to pick up in this whole sequence. There's a 45 auto machine gun. What's crazy is we found a whole laser gun that I don't know what went wrong here. Was there possibly just some more quests that I was supposed to have started? And see, inherently that's the problem with all of this game, DLC or otherwise, is that I do think there are significant amounts of quests that I'm just not seeing. Yeah, let's go check this area out. And the game shouldn't play like that. That's pretty obvious. That doesn't make any sense. It's very little items Very low items. And I would have a hard time interpreting some kind of item placement or visual layout that revealed to me that I shouldn't have sided with Joshua. I kind of expect that if we had done the flee option, runaway option, the thing that might have occurred may have been a just more difficult fight section later, that one of the tribes would just be eliminated and then we would have half as much support. Not that you really need support. I am obviously going to get over encumbered at this rate. It looks like that's a blown up, caved in section. And then we are now on a different side of Three Marys. Which guess I want to come back here and just see what's on the other side. He said that the white legs were basically scavengers and couldn't take care of themselves. Looking at this mess, I have a tendency to agree. There's just not a lot of hints here that they are good at crafting or doing anything. His hollow log concept didn't play any real role. So yeah, it definitely doesn't feel to me like there's enough here. Here's the rocks. Yeah. Doesn't really feel like there's enough here to be a village or anything. It would have been perhaps an interesting twist if it turned out siding, you could actually have sided with the white legs, and siding with them would have given you access to more items, shopkeepers, things you could actually make use of. But I don't really believe that's the case. I think what really is happening here is you just have yet another piece of content that has been sold as DLC, probably because it wasn't finished in time when the game was set to be released. That would be my guess as to what's happening. There's something up here. We should check it out. You do get this double disarm to get a few more XP. I still am more of a thought, though, that interesting. So very hard. I found a way to kill myself in very hard mode. as intriguing. We'll just assume I'm not going to pick up any of the other items. We'll go back up here. So I said in the previous recording when I turned up the difficulty to very hard mode that I thought I could probably play the whole game in a hardcore mode if I was playing on very easy, and I still stand by that thought, but definitely is a case that... Where am I picking up these bullets from? So there's the grenades. So there's got to be some kind of pressure pad. I would think. So where was the pressure pad? Or was this just a case where the crate itself was somehow triggered? Which that doesn't seem fair. I haven't seen that anywhere else. Okay. There is a pressure pad right here. That's what I stepped on and blew myself up with. Fair enough. You definitely wouldn't really see it though. They have hidden it intentionally. You can't disarm those kinds of pressure pads. There are still a couple of survival caches we've missed in this whole area, in the whole DLC area. I probably just won't find them. Otherwise, this just feels like a lot of junk. There's not that much more. I guess there's enough here that we could encounter some more people. It is weird, however, that we haven't encountered anybody lately. I guess that's in part because looks like our companions have done just all the work for us. And turning on the flashlight is not changing quite enough. It just definitely doesn't feel like there's much here. It's just a hill. And a whole bunch of stuff I guess I can pick up. These tents are all like camping tents. My dumb helmet's still giving me night vision when I don't really want it. Still don't get XP for crafting anything. That looks like an American flag. Different kind of tent. Mostly still collecting just food, though. And so there's two options here: is to stay up high or go down lower. I guess we'll stay up high. Take the high road. Is this a minefield, I wonder? I still feel like the explosion concept here is just one that's not implemented particularly well, so if this is an area that has just a whole bunch of mines, or if they were going to throw a whole bunch of TNT at me, that would just be some rough going. Interesting, the lampshade. A lot of broken radios here. Can't really craft much from what we're getting from all these bags. Yeah. So the fact that I'm seeing busted radios doesn't mean anything. It's interesting, there's a pickaxe here, and in the main game you would have been able to pick up a pickaxe and have it as a weapon. Here they've just chosen not to go that route, just to keep things smooth and easy, I imagine. There's just nothing going on here. And because I've introduced traps, you're going to spend most of your time just looking downward, not be able to see the skybox, which is nice, and not be able to see the walls, which are kind of different. I don't know if anything actually required this to happen at nighttime either, so we could potentially have just started this whole quest during the daytime.
On the way.
Making progress on challenges for killing things. And these guys are ridiculous. And that he's just poisoning you. Perhaps if my endurance was really low, this would be more of an issue. Certainly it's annoying visually. Sun is rising. How long does the poison actually last? Doesn't say. Let's see, why is that trap already disarmed? Okay, so animal poison. You'd think maybe the game would tell you not to use an item if it's not the right item. We call it anti-venom. Venom specifically implies it is from an animal and not a plant, which would assume that an animal poison cure would work. Was feeling like some of this game was getting better as far as having wide empty sections, because I was playing on very hard difficulty. Felt like they probably were. spawning in some more enemies, but it's not great. There's still a lot of emptiness here. You're just seeing fire pop up. I don't know what the exact reason for that is. I would assume it probably means that there's some glitched body here. Yep, from the looks of it. Fell through the ground. Yeah, you can call this a massacre, so certainly it is, but you could also argue that this is just speeding the inevitable along. Yep. This definitely doesn't feel like a tribe that was long for this world. It is kind of interesting. In the Fallout universe, it would work fairly well if there was some kind of junk tribe that just loved junk, loved throwing junk all over the place, and explained why there was just so much garbage everywhere. Yeah. I don't know why you would love junk. I don't know why this game has so much junk in the first place. Other than to kind of waste the player's time, which is not really respectful of the player's time. Certainly, people would have wanted longer games when this game came out. But it definitely makes an argument that a remake of this game would work if you just had an abridged version of that. I definitely always have this thought that there probably should be a company out there that just mods and makes abridged versions of really long games and older games. I'll just come from this angle and kill them from above. This is the whole point of having the high road. There's a high up section there. I'm not sure how we'd actually reach that section. In fact, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna conveniently get down. I guess we'll just continue to fall. Wish there was a better system than that. It does seem kind of ridiculous. Although, if the game just didn't ever have fall damage, then that would just be the expected way to play. One question certainly to ask here is, why don't the bodies despawn? Yeah. when you take all of the items away from a character, why does it just not despawn? Well, I couldn't do that. 9mm submachine gun. It's probably way less valuable than a 10mm submachine gun. But I'm not sure I've ever gotten one of these before, so I'm gonna do that instead. This gun needs repair, and so it's probably doing a lot less damage than it should. And hatchets. We've got a massive amount of hatchets here. So if I just start fixing hatchets, that'll work. But hatchets are worth 150, knives aren't going to be worth that much. Spike knuckles versus bladed gauntlets. And then just a lot of tomahawks. I could use metal armor to repair the right gear helmet. Pretty sure I already have a rattan cowboy hat. And then white legs armor is worth like more than white legs outfits, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 61.5 versus 71.5. So I should take any outfits and make hide armor instead. Yeah, and this will get my inventory down low enough so we're not doing a bunch of wasteful things. Of course, that's not going to do anything about inventory in 8 or miscellaneous, but that'll fix me for now. Did we search this area? I think we did. Yeah. I think I'm supposed to be going that way. Nope. I am supposed to be going the opposite direction. The question would have been, did we search this area? It would solve the whole underwear issue, certainly, if enemies disappeared when you took everything off of them. It would also solve things if, say, they despawned, bodies despawned or decomposed, and then items were just left in like a sack, or items even individually would spawn, although that probably would take more polygons to animate if they had a whole bunch of items and they were just left on the ground. But I think what you could certainly do is have animals, abominations, eat the corpses of things and pick up all the items. Rats, effectively, just holding all the items that you don't pick up and loot. Right, so we're just going this direction, and I'm kind of expecting to be surprised, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not actually surprised.
We warned you at Syracuse, and you persisted. You took advantage of us at New Canaan to drive us out, and like the dogs of Caesar you are, you followed us to Zion. And now you stand on holy ground.
So this is just a cutscene. And it's all quiet because his face is covered.
You understand me, don't you? Don't you?
Outman. Kunaman mad. He killed all white legs. You talk. You stop.
Let's see. This isn't what I signed up for. Let's talk to Joshua about this.
Him hear you. You talk.
Don't listen to this thing. His cries are those of a mad beast caught in a thicket. He gave no mercy to my family, and I will give none to his.
So we have a 65 skill speech check, which I think we go with.
He has a debt to pay for what he's done, and I've come to collect. And so he's chosen to cower in the water like a dumb animal.
And the fact that it just kind of jumped to this cutscene very roughly shows, in my mind, that this is an unfinished section. They really just shoved it out here. Here we have a speech of 90, which this is the one point here where I would imagine if you came into this DLC early, like level 20 or so, you probably wouldn't have your speech at 90, and you'd probably fail in this section if you can't even succeed here at all.
I want to take from them what they took from me, from my family. In this life, I want them to suffer. I want all of them to die in fear and pain. I want to have my revenge against him, against Caesar. I want to call it my own, to make my anger God's anger, to justify the things I've done. Sometimes I tell myself that these wildfires never stop burning, but I'm the one who starts them, not God, not them. I can always see it in my mind, the warmth and the heat. It will always be a part of me. But not today. Go. Get out of here. Go back. Back to the Great Salt Lake. That's it. It's finished. Thank you for staying with me. I couldn't have done this on my own. Let's go find Daniel. Tomorrow we'll be here soon. And there is much to do.
Joshua comes off very much like a...
And so
like,
it was that the conflict between the new Canaanites
he looks
and
more
the
like a
White was
Resident
finally
Evil
resolved.
character, hero.
The courier's involvement had tipped the scale, shifting the fragile balance of power.
Demoralized by the Dead Horse and Sorrow's attack the courier and Joshua Graham led against them, the Whitelegs retreated to Great Salt Lake. Their days were numbered. Word soon reached the 80s tribe that the
Audio
Whitelegs
sounds
spirit
really
was
quiet
gone.
here.
Their war chief a dim shadow of his former self. By year's end, the 80s would overrun the Whitelegs camps, scattering the tribe to the winds and claiming the Great Salt Lake for its own.
The Sorrows fought beside Joshua Graham and the Dead Horses, eradicating the threat the Whitelegs posed to Zion. Seeing the courier
So this is a
convince
pre-rendered
Joshua Graham
image
to
and they're in
spare salt
underwear.
upon wounds, the Sorrows learned that retribution could be tempered by mercy. Though he despaired at the Sorrows' loss of innocence, Daniel took some small consolation in the courier's lesson and prayed it would take root.
Having helped eradicate the Whitelegs from Zion, the Dead Horses returned to Dead Horse Point in triumph. They remained neutral toward the Sorrows, but as years went on, there were periods of competitive friction, even violence between the tribes. The new Canaanites, Daniel especially, intervened regularly as mediators, but found it difficult to reconcile the tribe's conflicts.
The defeat of the Whitelegs in Zion marked a turning point in the fortunes of the Happy Trails Caravan Company. Every 2 months, the caravan met with the new Canaanites in Zion Valley to trade. Happy Trails soon returned to prosperity. The vigilance of the Sorrows and Dead Horses in defending southwestern Utah, initially startling to Happy Trails caravans, soon proved a blessing. The tribes united against the 80s, driving them back from Highway 50, and thus opening yet another trading route for Happy Trails caravans.
The threat of the Whitelegs ended. Joshua Graham helped the Sorrows and Dead Horses tend to their fallen comrades and secure Zion. The courier's words had stayed Joshua's wrath in his darkest hour, and in sparing salt upon wounds, he was changed. While he continued to advocate militant opposition to the enemies of New Canaan, he sometimes showed quarter to those who crossed his family. Eventually, this new spirit would diminish the myth of the burned man in distant lands. A small price for the peace it brought to Joshua Graham.
For years after the defeat of the Whitelegs, Daniel did his best to minister to the Sorrows' spiritual needs. Try as he might, he could not hold back the tribe's increasing militancy and reverence of Joshua Graham. Demoralized, he returned to his family in Dead Horse Point. His failures haunted him for the rest of his days.
And with that, the courier walked out of the history of the tribes of Zion and back to the gathering storm of the Mojave Wasteland.
And so, yeah. What I want to do here, before we see this thing, is we'll make another save. And let's just look around and see if we have, for some reason, some kind of new quest. Nope, it's just Departing Paradise. There are no new locations. So yeah, it just kind of feels like the whole thing was a little unfinished there. Okay, so here's where we started the episode at, where we were going to talk to Daniel, and let's just see how different this goes if they decide to leave.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you? I appreciate it. That's assuming that... Don't worry.
Okay. So, if we go here...
It may be. I hope it is. To tell the truth, if something goes wrong, more Sorrows could die in the escape than in Joshua's proposed attack. Even knowing that, it's a risk I have to take. With your help and Joshua's, even if we're attacked, we can defend the Sorrows and escape. We'll be traveling at night in small groups across the valley. With luck, the Whitelegs won't know what's happened until the next morning. But if the Whitelegs realize what's happening, Joshua and I will need you to help us escape. Don't hold back. I promise you, the Whitelegs won't. Once our path is clear, I'll give you everything you need to get back to the Mojave. But the Pine Creek Tunnel must be collapsed behind us. It's the only way to delay the Whitelegs' pursuit long enough for us to get a head start. Good luck, and may God be with us.
So then it just loads you into another section.
Daniel must have made it to the tunnel by now. But there are Sorrows all over the valley. We have to help them and get Daniel out of here. Right.
We have an optional retake the bridge option in this one. Okay. Defeat the holding the bridge at Pine Creek, the Sorrow's burial ground, and release the Sorrow prisoners at the range. Well, let's see where this all would end up going. Right, that looks like that's where we want to go first. And I didn't like the laser gun, so I'm not gonna bother to switch to that. But I will switch to something that is more numerous as far as bullets go. Should we just fast travel? Fast travel currently unavailable. Yeah, I would have expected more of that. But clearly the game doesn't have the capability of recognizing that enemies in general are just in an area. It has to be hand scripted to disable fast travel. And at a certain level, if you were playing at very high difficulties, there could just be enemies everywhere. And now we are in a weird situation because there's an A-B split here as far as which one do I want to make canon. Yeah. Not that I think it actually is going to matter too much. This is a rough way to end up reaching an area. So it's definitely a case where not only are they intending you to play the whole game twice, they're intending you to play all the DLC twice in an alternate style, making different decisions, which definitely highlights that. Right, so we now know why there was a prison door there. Seriously. This is the best argument to get rid of VATS here. It's because you just can't hit things outside of VATS if you just want to play it as a run and gun. So we found the key. And we can free the captives, the exact same female model. Alright. We take the bridge. Wants us to go that way. Sanctity of the Dead wants us to go this way. Alright. I just don't think I can fast travel anywhere at all. Yeah, because it says fast travel is currently unavailable from this location, which is telling me that it's not the two that's the problem, it's the where. Could have easily died there. That sounds like he's having trouble. Am I facing the right direction? I believe so. And there's just gonna be nothing here at all. Well, best case scenario, you will have somebody attacking me. This completely undermines the fast travel section concept. I definitely feel like you're gonna get a slightly different ending here, but perhaps not really much worse of an ending. Like in this case, one tribe is going to... That guy just fell downward. Why am I a little bit woozy? How are bullets making me woozy? It doesn't quite make sense that you would guess I don't have the right thing here to unpoison myself. I'm just gonna run past these guys. Just let my companion kill everybody. Yep. Anyways, what I was saying is that it just doesn't make sense to Dancing Flame. I don't even know a character named Dancing Flame. I probably ran into him, but didn't have that much interaction. I'm sure of it. But yeah, why have fast travel when you can't use fast travel? Let's see. Just pour bullets. Spray and pray. Try and grab as much. Meanwhile, we're leveling up. I just don't know. These like clay pots, I don't think have anything in them. So it is just kind of a sacred burial ground. No reason. Alright, did we finish the quest? Yep. retake the bridge. It says go this way. It definitely is more of a interesting experience to do this, and it will leave only one tribe in this area. It would be fairly interesting if this was an area that flooded fairly frequently. Like, that definitely is my thought as far as what you would do here, is that you would have a polluted river to start with. You'd have a storyline quest to clean up the river at least the halfway point in the game. And then if you're going to have that river mechanic, then
Try to hide from me.
take it to the next level and have flooding. And then drying. It's kind of funny they have power fists. And the game just crashed. Okay, so now this is going to create a weird situation. The game wouldn't have really auto-saved while we were out and about doing things. And I really don't care about XP because I can just give myself XP if I wanted to in the console commands, and I'm only even earning XP because I reset my level down to level 1 after hitting level 50. And I really don't care about Alright, so we're in a slightly better position. That's not too bad. It did auto-save when we leveled up. Which that definitely makes an argument that you should always be getting XP and leveling up. It's definitely has been designed as a platform. Oh, your vision getting messed up this much is crazy though. Ah, there's a hollowed out rock at the end of this path. Which I'm almost 100% sure the hollowed out rocks are actually just cheats. They're bugs, fixers, things the game tester would use if they needed to find a certain item, or if a certain item fell through the floor. I definitely recall, I think it was probably one of the Giant Bomb reviewers from many years ago, saying that a unique item or key had fallen through the floor, and the Bethesda told them to go to a specific spot and click on a specific rock to get the item back, or get a duplicate version of the item. It's not so much a thing where you're supposed to be finding the hollowed out rocks. I cannot get up there from that spot. Let's go back.
Someone there. Prepare to meet your maker.
These bone breakers have power fists. I definitely would want to see more variety instead of just 3 identical out of bullets. Identical female characters. I also want to see just some more uniqueness overall in the characters. And if that did just fall under gender lines, and there was just a case here where the female attackers attacked slightly different than the male attackers, then I suppose so be it. Okay, and so killing those specific enemies was all it seemed it took. And then there's a high road and a low road, I think, to get to this last spot. I'm hoping I can actually get there. Maybe I can't. It seems like I can't. So it seems like I still need to get back up on the road. And you're not going to let me fast travel there. Yep. And we're not going to be able to really Bethesda wall crawl our way up, I bet. So we have to go just follow him, I think, in this direction. And then once the tribe leaves, I still feel like Joshua Graham is just going to have us attack 3 Marys. And so if we really want to see the ending, we're probably going to end up doing the exact same attack once again. If not, we're going to find some storyline issue here where maybe Salt Upon Wounds has caught Daniel, and we're gonna run into him in this section. I don't feel like the story really got into enough details as far as what the differences are between the 2 tribes. They seem to be working together just fine. I do feel like the Mysterious Stranger perk potentially causes more processing, more crashes. You definitely needed to see the white legs flying Caesar's flag more often. It would have made a lot more sense. It is kind of crazy that from a distance you can accidentally shoot a sorrow thinking it was a white leg because they just look so similar. I'm going the right direction, correct? Yep. And he just took out a white leg.
Si, curiendo.
Clearly they can fight. And clearly the game wants you to be able to fight. See, I could shoot people from the edge, but we have like Salt Upon Wounds here Non-aggressive.
Foolish Outman. You best white legs, you think. By my spear, you die.
Let's go with speech check and see how this goes.
You speak. I listen. Kill you. Maybe I not.
Weirdly, he is like the only person here. Like he's the only one really speaking with major broken English, whereas everybody else seems to be speaking just a different language. Let's see, your power is broken, you cannot hope to prevail here. Leave this valley in peace. Let's go with that one.
We leave, but always fight. White legs, we strong warriors for Kaisar.
And see, I figured we'll just kill him and shoot him in the back so we can get his weird mask thing. It's taking a lot of time to kill him. Yep, that's the only way to get his outfit. And since we are... Interesting, I can't search that guy. Bladed gauntlet. Assault upon wounds. Can't search him. Can't search him. Can't search him. Can't search him. And I guess Daniel saw what I did and probably is going to be mad about it, but maybe not.
Please, have you done everything you can for the Sorrows? Are they all accounted for?
Yes, go.
You've done more than I could have ever hoped for. Thank you. And may God protect you for all of your days. Goodbye.
Joshua Graham has left your company. You've lost Joshua Graham's way of the Canaanite perk. Daniel's giving you a detonator. This is the set to detonate the C4. Placed at the mouth of the Pine Creek Tunnel. Firing the detonator will collapse the passage to prevent any white legs from following Daniel and the Sorrows out of Zion. And so we get an explosion ending here. Which easily could have just been a cutscene.
And so it was that the conflict between the New Canaanites and the White Legs was finally resolved. The courier's involvement had tipped the scale, shifting the fragile balance of power.
After the White Legs drove the Sorrows from Zion, they celebrated by destroying all traces of the valley's former inhabitants. They appealed to the Legion for assimilation, but were denied. Their failure to eradicate the New Canaanites in Grand Staircase and farther up the Colorado had not gone unnoticed. The White Legs made a half-hearted effort to find the New Canaanites, but were driven off by dead horses trained in the ways of Joshua Graham. The White Legs lost all hope of joining the Legion and disintegrated into a number of petty raiding bands, leaving Zion Valley a polluted cistern.
Daniel succeeded in leading the Sorrows out of Zion, as he had wanted to do from the start. The courier protected the Sorrows during the evacuation, ensuring that most reached their destination unharmed. Over the weeks and months to come,
I imagine there might have been a way to save everybody.
Grand Staircase. Their adjustment to their new home was not without difficulty. But eventually, the Sorrows came to accept the loss of Zion.
Having helped Daniel and the Sorrows
I guess we don't
escape
get to
from
see the
Zion,
Grand Staircase.
the dead horses returned to their home at Dead Horse Point. The tribe continued to learn from the New Canaanites, and over many years traders built a flourishing community along the banks of the Colorado. Though the tribe's bond would endure, it was Joshua Graham's legend the dead horses would revere, not the tenets of New Canaan's faith.
Already weakened by several seasons of bad trading, the Happy Trails Caravan Company was initially discouraged by the results of its expedition, the fate of New Canaan, and the evacuation of the Sorrows from Zion made the prospect of trading seem fruitless. When Daniel told his family about the exploits of Happy Trails employee the Courier, however, New Canaan decided to repay the company's kindness. Twice per year, New Canaanites made the dangerous journey west to trade with a company in the city of New Reno. The Happy Trails Caravan Company could not survive on such trading alone, but the New Canaanites' generosity made tough times go easier.
Still don't know why I would care about the Happy Caravan.
Safety and grand staircase, Daniel continued to wonder if he'd made the right choice. He spent his life evangelizing the beliefs of his people to a new generation of young men and women, as his ancestors had for centuries before him. He was happy with his family, but for the rest of his life, there were nights when he awoke with sadness to find he had been dreaming of Zion.
And with that, the Courier walked out of the history of the tribes of Zion and back to the gathering storm of the Mojave Wasteland.
So I feel like that was the worser of the two endings, I would say. And it feels like they may have just given me a map. And the whole Father of the Cave stuff is just reading stuff. Yeah. That being said, this was the ending that got me Salt Upon Wounds helmet, and as such, it is the one I'm going to make canonical. So let's see what's in here. So we have a gun, single name game gun called A Light in Shining Darkness, Chalk's headdress, Daniel's hat, Daniel's outfit, Joshua Graham's armor, and scripture. So those are all just uniquely named things. Alright, so I'm going to make another save here. Let's see if we can see if we load. This is crazy to do all of this. This one. Version info English. Alright. If we load back here, let's see if Salt Upon Wounds helmet is here. Yes, it is. So it doesn't matter what ending you take, you still end up getting everything. I wish the entire game had something like that. That would be very nice. And now is the time for the annoyance. So we are at 246. I'm gonna go ahead and equip this. When I take all the weapons, I am now up to 466. When I take all the clothes, I am now up to 580. And when I take everything else, I am now at 1,388 pounds. And there is no walk. Nothing's gonna fix that at all. We can't use the teleporter until we're out of this DLC section. And then it's gonna just be a massive amount of, let's see, let's just walk backwards and at least we can see something prettier here. It's just going to be a massive amount of crafting and such for very little reason. There's one more DLC. And yeah, my final thought on this DLC is that this definitely feels like this should have been a side game, or perhaps even Act 1 of the game. Yeah. But if it was Act 1, it would be too weird and not feel like a Fallout game. It just really should have been a side game from not even set in the Fallout universe. So you pick up a scripture item, but you don't get to read it. We still didn't see what that laser rifle item was all about. It definitely feels like there could have been a whole nother quest. It's still crazy that this DLC started with us talking to a bunch of people that just immediately got killed. We're inside, so we still have to walk to this part. Now we're back to the Mojave, and there's a grave here, and that's it. Some bottle caps. And yeah, we're back to the main game area. We're back to Fallout, and it's just a completely different experience. Completely different mountains, completely different promises of buildings, completely different interactions. I am playing on very difficult. Inherently, I have to go and put at least one if I'm going to be an OCD collector. I don't have to do anything really, but I'd have to put at least one of every weapon. If I don't have it already. And I guess, really, if I was gonna think about it, I probably don't need to repair anything too crazy either, because I could, if I needed to, just use a weapon repair kit, which I'm gonna have plenty of those. Most of these items could switch some things out. I wanted to check on stuff like that. Like put in a full value, full damage combat knife. Get rid of garbage. Don't have a compliance regulator. Interesting. I have 2 cowboy repeaters. Here we have yet another detonator. I'm not sure. Fire bombs. Whatever thing. So we've got a new one of those. Frag grenades, frag mines. Grenade launchers. Should have one of those. Hatchets. Should be new. Nope, not new. Hunting rifles. You can see most of my guns have been modded. Incendiary grenades. Don't really need multiple of those. layer is still have 2 of those. That is the weird part about this, is that you can't really you can't really do 2 of everything. And it's not like the mods are nail boards. That's a new one. Clearly a lot of these I've just missed. Plasma grenade. Plasma mines, pull cues, power fists. One of these power fists should be sold. Pulse mines. Recharge pistol. Assault upon wounds, power fist. She's embrace. I think we probably have a shovel. Spike knuckles. Survivalist rifles. Seems to be new. Tomahawk. Put exactly one of them in our single collection or club. Right. So that's a lot of guns then to start to think about improving the quality on. And Bowser is probably what we want to improve the quality on first. 44 Magnum. So once again, it's just going to give us a lot of sellable items. I'm trying to sell things here, obviously. That would be at a high value. Cleaver's only worth 20. See, this may just be totally a wrong move. As far as trying to keep a bunch of items. It probably is. I imagine this is the better move, it's just to repair things and then move on. Nail boards are not high value items. You. A little bit more high value. Okay. So that's weapons. If we can now toss and sell weapons, that would be great.
Will Sir be staying for...
Let's see. And as far as just like repairing things, how much caps do we have? We have almost no caps.
Will Sir be staying for any... Very good, sir.
Okay. And I can't sell any of this. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. So what all this really did is give me another pile of guns to sell later. Anything that is at a high level should be taken to the gunrunner's arsenal. Anything that is at a lower level should be kept for later to repair things. And this is not going to get me from being over encumbered very fast. So I guess Old World Blues is just a different experience, because when we finished Old World Blues, there wasn't just a item, no footlocker I found anywhere that would give you every item in this area. In fact, it seems fairly obvious that they didn't want you to take every item. Just they didn't want to hand you every item. They wanted you to go back through this area and pick it up. Okay. Now let's just see. Brahmin skin outfit, Brahmin skin outfit. Kettleman cowboy hat. I already have one. Chalk's headdress. Obviously would be a unique item. Daniel's hat, Daniel's outfit. I think we can pretty well assume dead horses. Desert Ranger combo. Park stroller. Outfit. Relax wear. We have a hockey mask. Yes. Joshua Graham's armor. Most of this armor and stuff would not be very useful. You would have had to have killed somebody to get it, and probably played particularly out of order to get it. Metal armor, metal helmet, old cowboy hat, park ranger hat. That should be new. Prospector outfit. Is that new? Very possibly it isn't. Rattan. Cowboy hat. Rawhide. Cowboy hat. Then, is this a different type of sunglasses? Then, Vault 22 jumpsuits. I only have a couple of them. Wasteland settler outfit. White legs. Hide armor. Put one perfect version of that here. And then white legs outfits. Do we have a perfect version of that? Yes. We will put one version of that there. And that's all of our items as far as apparel go. Okay. And arguably, the outfit should just be kept. But I don't know. What else we can really do here as far as just repairing things. I'm not even sure it's worth it to waste your time on doing any of this. This is worth 8. This is worth 1, so take that hockey mask, I guess. This is worth 7. See, and I just don't know what you really want to do with those items. Now, it did occur to me I did a very poor job here of trading out weapons. So let's go take this and do this correctly. I probably should just be doing this all
Will sir be staying for
screen. But yeah.
Very good, sir.
Just the fact that this has 95 caps doesn't stop me from buying some very expensive things and selling small things. It seems like the best we're gonna get here is gonna be in the 3,000s. But yeah, you take that 5,000 there. And then that much there. Maybe you can just buy that one. Dude, that's like 17,000 to start with. And then I can just sell these smaller items. And then that will take up less weight. Okay. Let's get this balanced back. Place a globe. Gauze rifle. Sell that. Hunting rifle. Another hunting rifle. You see, that almost lines up perfectly. So now if I was to sell, say, these hats, that's basically nothing. That's exactly nothing. So that worked pretty well. Of course, it's not going to give me more caps. Not in any way. And it still creates a situation where there are expensive, but now lighter to carry guns. That's got me down to 918. I was going to take this sonic gun and see. We may not have a Gabriel's bark. I think we have an upper singers. I think we have a revelation. I think we have a roboscorpion and a tarantula. So this is a unique gun in that you can buy extra copies of it. That you can modify it. I still think I may be missing one. Interesting. And this would be our miscellaneous stuff. 10 ball, 13 ball, 2 ball. All done. 5 ball, 8 ball. Braxo cleaner. Ashtray, bent toy tin cans. I suspect you may not have anything new as far as the miscellaneous stuff, because yeah, there really shouldn't be anything new we ran into. Did we get a chessboard? Let's see. Dog hide. Do we have a dog hide? No. Interesting. It's probably because I craft some things. I wouldn't be surprised if there are several things that I crafted. Thus, I just don't have a copy of it. Let's see if we had a gecko hide. Nope. Green gecko egg. Nope. Hammer, harmonica, hot plate, iron. We're very low on lead. Mantis eggs, mantis forelegs. Metal spoons. Nuka-Cola truck. Imagine we probably do have a pre-war book. Looks like it is a different kind of pre-war book. Do we have a rake? No. We have picked up some extra stuff. Scripture would be new. Not a readable item though. If you really were interested in the scripture, and you probably would want that. East. Wonderglue. Whetstone. Tweezers? Okay. So then that allows me to decide what to get rid of. And I think it is definitely a case where most of the items that I have are eliminatable. Let's see. Let's go ahead and take 4 weapon repair kits. Probably, you know what, we really don't need to take even that much because we're going to craft that many. See, taking stim packs or auto inject stim packs or a stealth boy. Take like 7 of those. Take all of those. The weapon binding ritual still not something. Okay, make a bunch of those. Make a bunch of those. Cookery to metal. Deterra hide. Efficient recycling. A doctor's bag. Efficient recycling again. Yeah, none of this crafting really could have happened in that DLC. It just, you would have had to have walked around. Meals to metal. Yeah, you would have had to walk around way too much. Super stim packs can be crafted. Weapon kits can be crafted. Weapon repair kits. Stim packs can be crafted. Optimized flame fuel. Homemade flame fuel. Gecko hide belts. I think quartz is the one we want to craft. So we can then craft a Nuka-Cola grenade. Now, there is still a couple of things here we've never really crafted. And I just don't see how the last quest is going to end up doing that. We're out of wonder glue. Interesting. Can we? Do anything about that? I don't think we really can. Might be able to. Like this gecko hide belt. You can definitely make a lot more lad's life. You can add a weapon repair kit. Right, so we need sensor modules, I think, for the rest of this, or a pot. Let's see, the cosmic knives, we still haven't found it. We're out of the sacred decor route. We would need some forceps. Sensor modules, forceps, maze. What is the thing? Empty syringes. I guess you could make a bunch of stim packs from that. Muck fruit. There's some... There you go. We probably don't need that many. There's something here. Definitely to all this. Whole bunch of stim packs. Now. And over here, make 2 high explosive rockets. And that's kind of all I care about. Although I'm pretty sure we've got a massive amount of lead. Problem here is we take that much and that's gonna weigh a lot. I'm just not sure what weapon I even would want to craft. Let's take some scrap metal. That made 13 weapon repair kits. So that's as much as I can craft. If we process all the pencils, we'll get a bunch of crafting things. If we process all the clipboards, we'll get a bunch of crafting things. And we don't want to process books. If we give this guy all of our coffee mugs and dishes, we'll get more crafting items. And if we give this guy all our toasters and appliances, we'll get more crafting items. Question is, what can we now craft? Energy cells. These, I guess, are probably worth more than this is. It's mostly just giving you enough items to make a few things. Not really enough. So we definitely don't need that. We really don't need that. Alright. The leather armor thing is got to be on the cooking then, I guess. Crazy as that sounds. Let's see if we can find, what does this? Gecko backed leather armor. We require tanned fire gecko hide. So where do you get tanned fire gecko hide? You would have thought it would have been in that DLC, and this recipe very possibly was added because of that DLC. So fire gecko hide or tan or gecko hide, and so we've just lost, I think, all of our gecko hide. We crafted it into something else, I feel like.
Will sir be staying for any Very good, sir.
That is, unless I just have sold it. We didn't see any mutilated corpses. Okay. See if we have any gecko hides. Here. None of these plants have grown either. Okay. Let's see. Bighorner meat going to Bighorner steak is probably correct. Float fighter sliders is probably correct. Dark Dakura. Let's craft some of those first. Dog steak instead of dog meat. Probably correct. Homebrew. Nuka-Cola is probably correct. That's purifying water. Silver sting. Snake bite tourniquets. Gecko steak. I kind of feel like I'm just not getting gecko hides. I don't know if that's really the case or not. And so then it would just come down to, yeah, bark scorpion poison glands. Brahmin meat. Oh, could have made a Brahmin Wellington. Interesting. So maybe I am making some mistakes here. Sand root. Right. Just gonna grab a bunch of this and see if this works. Is crutch really an item? Question whether some of these items are actually things you can cook with. We definitely aren't reducing the amount of items here. Not to any real level. Okay, black coffee, caravan lunch, or blowfly sliders. Make a weapon binding ritual, why not? Actually, shouldn't have done that. Have I been putting the knives in here? Nope, I think I've pretty much just lost all the knives. Okay. Coyote tobacco chew. Bark scorpion poison gland. Prickly pear fungus. Ramen meat. Insta mash. Empty whiskey bottles. Apples. Should just have taken everything. That way I could have been 100% certain that there was nothing else to craft. Yes, I'm already over encumbered, so it really doesn't make sense to hang around here. Is a hammer or a harmonica possibly something that actually you would craft things with? Remember, I'm not getting any XP for any of this. This is solely to try and make more money. The irony here is that very little is going to be able to be crafted, I imagine. Fire ant fricassee. Large wasteland tequilas. Grilled mantis legs. Mushroom cloud. Wasteland tequila. Hydra. And trail mix. Is getting in my way. That doesn't do anything more. Yep. Let's see. I believe this should have like one of everything in it. Either this is the one of everything list of things you can craft with, or this is the one of everything list. Let's see. This is the one of everything list. So let's see. We really shouldn't be low on too much of anything. Big corner meat, but not big corner steak. Big venom, bloatfly meat, bloatfly slider, blood pack, blood shield, rock flour. Caravan lunch, cave fungus, coyote steak, crispy squirrel bits, dark datura, anti venom, datura hide, datura rana, doctor's bag, dog steak, fiery purgative, fire ant fricassee, healing poultice, healing powder, human flesh, clearly I haven't sorted into this enough. Medics, mole rat meat, mushroom cloud, noodles, Patriots cookbook, pinion, nuts, purified water, psycho, Rad-X, right away. We're almost done. Of course, I should have just done all of this off screen. This was stupid to do this. Of course, I wasn't going to start a new DLC in this episode. Spore carrier sap. Squirrel stew. Strange meat. We don't have any strange meat, just strange meat pies. Why am I doing any of this? Is definitely a valid question to ask. It's just one huge waste of time. Yaoguai meat. I did get to fight some Yaoguais. I'm at 2,000 pounds now. What could we do? Prickly pear fruit. If I process all of this material and then make not that much, but let's say that much, and I can make a bloatfly sliders. Right, what else do we need? I think we needed some Xander root, so we'll do that. I definitely think I could do something with maize as far as making fuel. Can we make cute mutant cave fungus? No. more prickly pear fruit. 18 more of those. Probably the best thing to do to start off with. So, this barrel cactus fruit. Yeah, that would be the next thing to do. One thing this kind of shows, though, is that you just... Desert salad. Not sure I've ever made a desert salad before. It's not like you're just getting generic items that you equate. So it's not like I can just turn it into Soylent Green and Saline Green. Do you have a desert salad already? So, homemade fuel. Turn that back into Saline Green. Now, can we craft anything else? Barrel cactus fruit. Yeah. Can we craft anything else? Ramen meat we won't get. Datura root. Maybe. Honey pod mesquite. Still just trying to find something. Pears. Can we make pears? No. Any of the fresh fruits. So there's just two classes of items in this. Ones you must find, and then assistive things, which I would say getting rid of the assistive things makes a lot of sense. It also might make some sense to just get rid of the ones you must find. Surgical tubing, we may have some of that. I don't believe there's anything to be crafted here. White horse nettle would be the one thing that would make the most sense. There's definitely a lot of items here that seem to overlap, both in the aid and in the miscellaneous. I think this nectar actually does go here. Massive amount of beer. I think we keep the bubble gum. Massive amount of cave fungus, not really helping us any. Don't think crispy squirrel bits does anything. I think that does. And that does. Just gonna drop a bunch of things here and hope I'm right about them being useful. Yeah, not accomplishing a lot here. And I suspect you actually can't even do anything with Yao Guai meat. There just isn't a crafting ingredient. There's also some miscellaneous things I didn't even go through. Let's see if we can dump all those. I really should do a better job of sorting things here. Boy, do I wish there was a better system here overall. Yeah, I really am just wasting tons and tons of time. Holding on and sorting items. That has gotten me down to 500 pounds now, however. But boy, is it 500 pounds the hard way. I don't think the bone saw actually does anything. Duct tape, egg timers, empty syringes. Hammers aren't used? I think they are. Leather belts. Take a bunch of lead. Medical braces, metal cooking pots. Do pilot lights actually get used for something? Kind of just doesn't matter, though. This is a great example of where games just get overwhelming, and they are just video games. It's not anything important. You are probably better off cheating instead of spending anywhere as much time as I have spent doing all of this.
Very good, sir.
Well, still can't refill any of that.
Will sir be staying for... Very good, sir.
So now let's just toss anything with any weight. Want to keep those. Still don't think those are worth anything. Sure would be nice if the menu told you what your overall weight was. It is irritating to think that a significant amount of these items that I have right now are things that I did not actively try and pick up. That they went out of. These were just items that happened to be on other people. I'm just gonna sell everything. Some of these items might be useful in something else, but let's just sell them. Need another expensive weapon to take instead. Okay. Sell these cheap items. Then let's start selling the 8 items. And this is all just going to create a very delicate balance. I suspect if I take another hunting rifle, I won't have enough to sell here, but we'll see. See how this goes down. I just don't want any of these items, even things that are not taking up any weight. It is Nothing but just wasteful. So basically none of the items that we got in the DLC is interesting enough to keep around. May have to balance this out a little bit differently. Maybe not. And I imagine at this point we are in a really good position. We can just hold on to the stim packs and sell those at the gun runners. Okay. So 6 of those. So all of those. And see, that's wow, been like 40 minutes. I didn't realize. Apologies, it's taken this long. But yeah. If we really cared, we just could sell these. Yeah, and I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. I think that's a pretty good system that we've done there. Do that. That. I don't know why I have a White Legs outfit here. That should have been sold. Instead of going back into the menu, I'll just throw it away. Into this inventory, and I'll go ahead and toss these into that inventory because I really don't want to deal with those either. And then I'm gonna take this silver sting, put it in there, because I did suspect maybe that was something I didn't have. And then let's see if we can take the rest of those weapons with us. And I think we have done everything. Heal ourselves up just in case there's some kind of radiation. Otherwise, and so the question, we're at 121, because we're carrying a bunch of weapons. I'm hoping. And we're hoping that those are very valuable. Question is, are we now in a better situation to go over to the gunrunner's arsenal? Which, yeah, as far as caravans go, all we have is Crimson Caravan Company. I don't think there's anything here that would lead to Happy Trails Caravan. Yeah. There are several other caravans talked about. I could certainly go to these weapons, and should go to these weapons and see if we can mod any of them. Really should be able to mod something, but no such luck.
Welcome, sir or madam.
I definitely think in the DLC there could have been more of these Securitrons wandering around, just as a bizarre twist. So this one also has no caps. So it feels to me like no time actually occurred in between the events of the DLC. Which that's not really what I was expecting. Okay. It does seem like there might be new weapons available for purchase. However, we're looking for Gunrunner's arcade weapons or named weapons. And weirdly, I don't think we have any named weapons. Did I manage to buy everything? I don't think that's the case. Okay, well, what would happen if we started to buy everything that had GRA in front of it? That would happen. What would happen if I was to sell a whole bunch of stim packs? Let's see, my mods here don't seem like they really would apply. Anti-material rifle makes sense. I never get rid of these bark scorpion poison glands. Chainsaw makes sense. Katana makes sense if I have that. Plasma pistol. Cycler. Power fists. GRA. don't think the GRA guns actually can be modded. Right. This combat armor, combat helmet Mark II. Notice it's not going to get to a Mark III. It definitely seems like there's still a lot of mods here that you could mod. Interesting. I don't think these wrenches should be here. Okay. Gonna have to be picky here. Careful about not just buying the same thing twice. Maybe just selling things if they are mods that we already have one of. So the only thing I can see here is that I must have at some point bought all the named weapons. It's the only thing that really would make sense. Yeah.
Come back and see us again soon.
Yeah, and I really just have nothing to say here. Well, alright. So I'm at like 176 now, so I would have to go back now to Big Mountain. And what I would do is come over on these weapons that I just bought and see if any of them can actually be modded. That was a Gunrunner's Arsenal gun, and it was successfully modded. We just got a challenge for applying mods to things, so it really is just the named weapons. This is great because this means very well am getting rid of a lot of mods. I got me XP even. And then the question would just come down to, would any of these guns have actually been useful? And let's see. This 12.7 does 368 damage per second. This one does 182. This one does 106. one does 62 damage per second. It's really slow. This one does 254. That's still probably too low. 116. Should we get rid of Bozar? I think we should. Shall we try a chainsaw? It's crazy. Should we do Fat Man's? No, I think we'll end up doing that at the end. Should we get rid of Blair? Okay. So, there was clearly a mix-up, and that's why we have 2 Magnum revolvers. And then it would just be a question about, do we want to take a named gun like that? This one should just be sold. This one is modded, but not as modded as this is. So that too should be sold. The battle rifle should be sold. It's still very crazy that this is the game. This is the experience you will end up having unless you just are a better player than me. Which, you know, fairness, in all fairness, may be the case. If you can hold back and not spend your time doing all this, you can not fall into obsessive compulsive actions. One thing I am noticing is that flashbangs weren't available for purchase, as far as I could tell. Yeah. Let's get rid of that hunting rifle. Revolver. Probably need another katana. And certainly some things have 2 mods, it seems, and some things have 3 mods. But I kind of don't get a lot of this. Also, I have to admit, I just don't, even now that I'm playing on very hard, I don't see the point in all of these efforts, all of having extra strong yeah, I just don't see a point of having extra strong weapons. They're still not really one-shot killing people. Okay. So then I'm just gonna dump all of the weapons. I think we were going to use that one and that one. Maybe we're going to sell that one and that one and that one. No, I don't think we were going to sell that one. I think we were going to take the chainsaw. We're going to sell that one and that one and that one. That's got me down to 69 pounds. I was at points here at 49 pounds. So what is the thing? It's a chainsaw. Yeah. That seems to be the only thing. The only other things we could do is maybe dump a bunch of that for 1 pound. And maybe dump those. And as far as mods, it does look like we have done better now. We just have 45s. A 45 auto 45 mod. And then the katana, hunting shotguns, mods, laser pistol, laser rifle mods. Plasma pistol, plasma caster. Still not sure how I've ended up leaving so many things. War clubs, mods. Well, it's pretty obvious how I end up leaving things. It's just a matter of me not being as efficient and thorough as I should be. Weird thing here is the katana.
Will sir be staying for... Very good, sir.
I don't know where a katana would be, and I guess I'm looking for Gunrunner's Arsenal katana in particular. So I wouldn't be looking for any of these. And I guess I'm looking for a Gunrunner's Arsenal, like War Club, if such a thing actually exists. It's not in here. Nothing in here seems to ever go away. Yeah, I don't think we have anything here that matters either, as far as miscellaneous items that have been sold. But see, weirdly, the economy is still not broken. And I guess that's what this almost extra hour of gameplay here has proven, is that the economy is still not broken. And I guess we'll try this weapon next. Let's see. This would have been where you would have spawned after Big Mountain. So if there was going to be a foot locker anywhere, it would have been just around this area, giving you all the items that you may have missed. Doesn't seem like that's the case. Well, my one concern is we still have this like long 15, and we still have this dry wells. If the Abandoned Brotherhood of Steel bunker DLC does not take us to those locations, then I have no idea what is supposed to be done to get to that. After we finish this DLC, we will be done with Fallout New Vegas for the most part. Clearly, there's elements I missed. I didn't find all the survival caches, for instance, in the previous DLC, the Honest Arts DLC. But I really couldn't care that much. I will say, though, now having done 3 pieces of the 4 DLC, the game does feel a lot better to me than what the main game had to offer alone. I have forgotten a lot of the transgressions of just the boringness and genericness of the main game, but I still really don't feel like this is the greatest of experiences, and I don't know why so many people sing the praises of New Vegas. It does not feel like it is a better experience than Fallout 3. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. Sorry it went so long. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and keep on watching. Thanks.